Let my hindsight be your 2020 vision. It's Grateful Monday and recently discovered foods.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and welcome to a brand new week. It is Monday, July 13th, 2020, day 275 of Gotta Get On Ellen. 16 days until my first speaking event. I think maybe this countdown was a bad idea. It's starting to make me really nervous. 16 days. Oh my gosh, I got so much to do. But with that said, it is Grateful Monday. I'm grateful that I have 16 days instead of 13 days or 12 days or, God forbid, 6 days. So if you're not familiar with Grateful Monday, it is the day that I go through my own personal gratitude journal and read some of my entries to show you how easy and simple it can be to find a little gratitude in your life. So one of the things I'm grateful for this week, my sister bullied me into having a online pampered chef party, turning out to be a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So I'm glad that I finally let her talk me into doing that. I got a post from a woman on my group page saying how much my posts mean to her and speak to her. That made my whole year, I told her. I was very, very excited about that. I don't know if you caught my video yesterday, but I got to see the baby ducks. Oh, gosh, they're so cute. They are so cute. And another thing I had put on my gratitude journal for this morning was we have our neighbors next door who have a number of grandchildren, and their kids visit very often in the summertime. And the one little girl, Brielle, she's 3 years old, and her grandparents have taken to calling me Miss Wendy. Say hi to Miss Wendy or whatever. Well, since she's 3, she calls me Miss Mendy, which is fine. But she is just the most outgoing, cutest little girl. And they went out on the boat yesterday, her family. And when they came back, you know, often they'll go right past our dock to pull in and park their boat. And as soon as she saw me on the deck, she's like, "Hi, Miss Mendy!" So darn cute. Oh, my gosh. And also, I got some cool produce cooked and ready to eat from my neighbor across the lagoon. Brae made us some zucchini flowers and some eggplant zucchini patties. He prepares these tempura style. So he's really great with produce. He has a whole produce section that he's growing over there. He's got the tomatoes and the zucchini and the eggplant. I've seen he's got a pear tree over there. I mean, it's insane. He also fishes constantly. Whole fish right off the dock in the fall. I think that he's catching bluefish in the fall. He doesn't really do it in the summertime. So I guess it's, certain fish come at certain times of the year. We don't often catch a lot of fish back here in the lagoons, but he does pretty well. He crabs all summer long. We got 3 crabs yesterday. We were crabbing. I said, if we get 4, we'll cook them up. Yeah, just got 3. So we throw them back. We haven't made any yet because I think this was the most we had ever gotten was 3 at a time. We typically get 2. So we feed them for the day inside the trap with the bait, and then we throw them back at the end of the day. So Joe said that they probably should be spreading the message to all their friends. Hey, come to this crab trap. You get to eat all day, and then they'll just let you go. Yeah, we're not having much luck with the crabs. But they're hard to eat anyway. They're a lot of work. I don't mind a crab cake. I don't mind if somebody digs that meat out for me. But we were talking about that dish that we had made a couple of weeks ago from a suggestion that somebody had put up with their summer dishes that they love. And we had made, it was vegetable pasta, vegetable spaghetti with olive oil. And we put, what did we put in it? Mushrooms. Gosh, what else did we? Peas, I think. And it was just this really light, summery type dish. And that would be good with some crab in it. For sure. Some really sad news today. I didn't even know that this was going on, but it seems that actress Kelly Preston has died of breast cancer. Now, Kelly has been married to John Travolta for, many, many, many years. And he said that she'd been battling breast cancer for the last 2 years. She's 57 years old. So sad. Tell you what, John Travolta has had some hardships. Lost his son. Now his wife. Oh, so sad. So sad. So praying for her family at this very difficult time. I'm going to get right back into the food. As I mentioned, my neighbor Ray had made us some zucchini flowers, which I had never had before last summer. He introduced it to me last summer, and I like it. It's good. So I wanted to hear what food you've recently discovered, and I've also just started eating avocados. The first day or two, I was kind of on the fence. I'm like, I don't know if I like this. I think I can learn to like it, and now I just can't get enough. Just can't get enough. So I have the avocado toast in the morning, and then I put the everything but the bagel seasoning on top. Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm having trouble getting avocados and the perfect ripeness. Joe went to grocery shop for us on Saturday, and he got one that he said looked like it was going to be ready in like a day or two, and then one that was really hard, and I felt them, and one was really hard. They're both ripe now. They're both ready to go. I can't win. We'll see how it goes. Marcy says, I started eating quinoa in recent months. It's fun looking for new recipes. I bought some quinoa, but I've yet to make it. She did offer up a recipe for me. So I'm still looking for good quinoa recipes. I'll take any and all if anybody wants to post them for me. Yeah, quinoa. I remember when I first saw this word. I was working at a radio station in Trenton at the time, and I remember it was just me and the producer early in the morning, and I said, have you tried this quinoa? And he's like, Wendy, it's quinoa. I'm like, no, that's definitely quinoa. He goes, it's pronounced quinoa. So silly, right? If it's quinoa, let's spell it quinoa. Jeez Louise. Beverly says, believe it or not, I had fish tacos for the first time this past Wednesday. Oh, my goodness, Bev. My husband loves fish tacos. He gets them all the time when we are out. She said, I had no idea what I had been missing. Joe says asparagus. That is my husband. He said that he really never ate asparagus until I came into his life. See, I open his world in so many different ways. Gosh, I love asparagus. We had some over the weekend. It is a yummo. Yes, that's right. I said yummo. It's yummo and delish. I'm feeling a little bit like Rachael Ray right now. Those are the words that she uses. On to today's blog post. I wanted to talk a little bit about my hindsight. You know how hindsight is 2020. Well, let my hindsight be your 2020. Put up a little quote here. Your salary is the bribe they give you to forget your dreams. Your job isn't the end-all, be-all. I know we all tend to think that. We are so much more than our job and our careers. But when it comes to removing toxicity from your life, your job may be one of the worst offenders. I realize how important it is to have a job with a steady income, but is that source of income making you miserable? So many people complain about their jobs, yet continue to go there day in, day out, without even trying to find something different. something that may not be so soul-sucking. When it comes to my last job, there was so much that I loved about it, but there was one thing that made my life miserable, stressed, and frustrated every single day. That was the person I worked with. Although I loved everything else about my job, the music we played, talking to listeners, planning a show, my boss, the excitement of being part of a great team, there was one thing that overpowered everything. It was one person. And that person I spent 99% of time at work with. This person constantly worked against me, competed with me, and wanted to show me up constantly. He would set things up to make it look like one of us was the winner. And ironically, he often lost those battles, which in turn made him even more angry and bitter toward me. I had been out of the radio business for about 3 years before I started this job, and I felt it was a gift. One I was not going to take lightly. I worked my ass off for that station and for that show, but I always had this issue hanging over me. No matter what I did, I couldn't get him on my team. I really tried. This was my career. I wanted it to work. When it got to the point that it was clear I wasn't going to be able to win him over, I decided to just do me and soldier on the best I could. I can tell you that I did think of leaving. It did cross my mind. But if I did that, I felt that would be giving him the win. He would be the one to continue with the station doing the job I love while I became a receptionist somewhere. It would be rewarding his bad behavior, in my opinion, and I would be the one to lose big time. But was I actually winning in the current situation? Coming home every day, complaining to my husband about him and how hard he made my life at work? Was this enhancing my life in any way or taking away from my peace and livelihood? I still couldn't do it, though. Couldn't leave my dream job and let him take over when he was doing everything the wrong way. When he was acting like a child, lashing out and playing games instead of being an adult and addressing our difficulties. I just couldn't walk away no matter how much better off I would be until management made me. Our internal battles were not a secret to management. It had been going on for 2 years. It got to the point where the station just let us both go. How do you think I felt about that? I'd been trying with this guy against all odds to make things work, and then eventually lost my job anyway because he refused to try. When I lost that job last March, I started thinking about what my next chapter would be. It took me less than a week to come up with the plan for this business, the one I'm pursuing now. Mostly, I wanted to make sure I wasn't put in a position to have to work with someone who would make me so miserable and then cost me my job anyway. I decided to work for myself. It's been hard. I'm not making any money yet, but I will. I'm hanging in there because I love what I do now more than anything I've ever done. Now, there are definitely aspects of working in radio that I miss, but my days are so much less stressful. I'm not suggesting everyone start their own business, but if you are going to a place every day that is sucking the life out of you, it's time to at least think about change. You're not handcuffed to your job. At least look for another position at another company. If it means a pay cut, my advice is to take the chance. My husband and I have had to make adjustments with the loss of my income, but we have figured it out thus far. And I'm sure you will too. You have one life. Don't spend it miserable for the sake of money. There are literally a million options out there. I know it's easy for me to say, hey, just leave your job. But don't let something like work suck all the life out of you. These are hard lessons to learn. I still can't say that I would have left if I could go back and do it over again. I don't think I'm enlightened enough yet to not care that I would have handed him the show I worked so hard on. I'd like to get to that point. But I certainly wasn't winning when I came home miserable and stressed every day. When we can get to the point where we truly don't care what happens without us, that is when we are on our way to living our best life. Because my life is so much better without him in it. Put some real thought into how your job makes you feel. What do you like when you get home at the end of the day? If you love your job and it doesn't stress you out, then great, you're good. And I'm talking about stress from like other people or management. I'm not talking about the actual stress of the job. If you're a stockbroker, your job's going to be stressful regardless. It's just a stressful job. I'm talking about people who are making your life miserable. Think about some other things you may be able to do, other places that would benefit from your skill set, or consider something you may be able to do completely on your own. It's scary, yes, but so exciting and fulfilling as well. All right, people, it is Monday. It is my favorite day of the week after Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a brand new week full of opportunities and possibilities. Now get on out there and be a badass. You know I'm cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Only 16 days till my speech? Oh, my.